After Valve Narbacular dropped Portal onto the orange box, it took the internet by storm. Everybody wanted a weighted storage companion cube, and I do mean everybody. Let's be honest, you know you wanted a weighted companion cube. How could you not? They'll never threaten to stab you. I think it's pretty safe to say that our bodies were pretty ready for a sequel, and that's exactly what we got on April 18th, 2011. I remember that day so vividly because I was very excited for the release of Portal 2. It was one of the first games I remember being really excited for upon its release. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money at the time to pick up a copy on release, but fortunately for me, my friend picked up a copy and we went to his house after school and we dove headfirst into the co-op. We had to have played at least halfway through the game because it was just so much fun. It was about a year later when I finally got to play the single player of the game when I got a copy for my birthday, and I just remember I stayed up into the wee hours of the night just playing through it. The game just starts off with so much charm, with Wheatley coming to wake you up and he tries talking to you and it says press A to speak, which is the jump button, and then he just reacts to you jumping instead of speaking. It's just so charming.
Yes. Okay, what you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped.
Just running around with Wheatley guiding you in the beginning is just so much fun. He's such an idiot and it's so entertaining. I love the part where he asks you to catch him and he legitimately thinks that he's gonna die if he drops off the rail. And then there's also the part where he flips on all the switches to turn on GLaDOS just by using the elevator. Then GLaDOS turns on, you're separated from him, but you see him sneaking in through the test chambers, just getting a little peek at you while you're testing, only to later escape with him as GLaDOS tries to kill you with all her death traps. It's cool because this escape feels very reminiscent of the first game's escape, but it's more intense since GLaDOS is really making an attempt to kill you. Then there's the whole plan to set up the core transfer. I really love the part where you replace the template turret with a bad turret, and just the fact that the turret assembly line literally flings bad turrets into an incinerator, and the part where you destroy the neurotoxin tank is just really visually cool. I don't really think anybody will ever forget the twist this game had with Wheatley turning into the main bad guy when he turns on you once he's in control. I also love that GLaDOS reveals that he's not just a regular idiot, but that he was designed to be an idiot. It's so good. Going back to the beginning of the game, it just feels really cool exploring an overgrown aperture. I just love how the game starts off with you revisiting some of the tests from the first game. You literally step into the labs in the same room that Portal 1 begins in. Once GLaDOS is turned on, it gets even cooler because she's moving around parts of the labs as you're testing. So you're constantly seeing moving walls and trash being cleaned up, sometimes even having trash fly through pipes and other times having walls spaz out. The return of the companion cube was also some really awesome fan service. I love that GLaDOS toys with us by fizzling the first two cubes and then calling them worthless because there's warehouses full of them. Which that may be true, GLaDOS, but that doesn't mean they're worthless. They're not worthless. Somebody hold me back, damn it! I'm sorry, I need a minute. It's really cool that the companion cube plays a little tune as well that you'll be more familiar with upon your second playthrough of the game. And the test chamber that the companion cube is in is also one of the only test chambers that doesn't have an emancipation grill. Hey, what do you say me and you get out of here? Oh, what? Dog, that's fucked up.
Was about to say, I love you.
Exploring Old Aperture was just an absolute treat. Just falling down with GLaDOS the frickin' potato, only to lose her and find her getting eaten by birds, and then you get to strap her to your portal gun so she's just physically with you. Playing around with the gels was also so much fun. The repulsion gel was not only fun to hop around on, but it also, when you got cubes and turrets covered in it, it was just a sight to behold. The propulsion gel was even more fun. I always loved running through portals and doing these sick jumps and whatnot. Both gels had this super awesome tune that they played when you interacted with them. The conversion gel was also just super impressive. You would think that being able to make any surface a portal surface would just make any puzzle super easy, but Surprisingly, it worked really well, and they were just super fun to like use and interact with. Down in the depths of Aperture is where we got to meet the legend himself, Cave Johnson. I think it could probably be argued that his voiceovers were more entertaining than any of GLaDOS' insults, but hey, we don't have to live in a world where we get one or the other because we got both in the same game. But all I'm saying is it might be cool if we got a Portal prequel where we got to test in 1940s Aperture with Cave. Also, I personally think that Cave delivered one of the best lines in Portal history.
Alright, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these?
Take the lemons.
Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day it thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemon.
Oh, I like this guy.
I'm gonna get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down.
Burn his house down. Burning people. He says what we're all thinking.
Testing down here in the depths of Aperture was just so much fun, listening to Cave talk to us and hearing how Aperture was like before the events of Portal 1. The reveal that his assistant Caroline is GLaDOS is just so amazing, and then watching GLaDOS just be confused about her inner Caroline coming out as she's listening to Cave's monologues. Returning to New Aperture and seeing what Wheatley did to the place is just so interesting. Like, he really does prove that he's a moron by changing the place for the worse. Like, why, Wheatley? Why did you create these monstrosities? His puzzles were so incredibly simple until he finds GLaDOS' old puzzles, but later when he does try to kill you, it creates one of the best escapes so far. Also, on a side note, I just love how in your face the part where he kills you is.
Well, this is the part where he kills us.
Hello, this is the part where I kill you. Had a bit of a brainwave.
Wheatley's boss battle is so cool because it really feels like you're using everything that you've learned thus far, and I don't really know how to put into words how the end of this fight and the final cutscene really make me feel, so let's just watch it together.
Stalemate Resolution Associate. Please press the Stalemate Resolution button.
Do not press that button.
We're so close. Don't press the button.
No! Do not do it! I forbid you to press it!
Press it. Press the button.
Don't press that button!
Press it.
Don't press it! Come back! Oh my! Booby trap the stalemate button! What? Are you still alive? You are joking! You have got to be kidding me! Well, I'm still in control, and I have no idea how to fix this place. Oh, you had to play bloody cat and mouse, didn't you? What? Space! Ah! Ah! Let go! We're in space!
Space.
Ah! Let go! Let go! I'm still connected! I can pull myself in! I can still fix this!
I already fixed it, and you are not coming back.
Oh no! Change your plans! Hold on to me! Tighter! Ah! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me!
You know that saying that you see in classrooms all the time, the one that's like, shoot for the moon and even if you miss you'll land among the stars? Well, Portal 2 did shoot for the moon, and they hit it, quite literally. The ending to this game is probably one of my favorite video game endings, like, of all time. I love that they also connect the single player and the co-op by showing Atlas and Peabody just at the end right before GLaDOS releases you, and the turret song, it's just so good. I love that the game ends with like a little turret opera song, and there's also another song from GLaDOS as well during the credits, which, don't get me wrong, that song is also very awesome as well, but like, I just love the turret song so much. It's just so fun. But all of that is only half of the Portal 2 experience, the other half being the co-op. I mentioned at the beginning that I got to play through the co-op before I even touched the single player, and I absolutely loved it. So much in fact that I played through the co-op several different times with different friends, and I think where the co-op really shines is just the pure shenanigans you can get up to with your friends. Like all the times we tried to kill each other, but I think my personal favorite thing to do is just grab their heads whenever they thought they were going to try to do something productive. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you love about Portal 2, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!